Alright, I got some more time now, so I want to make this video. So, really sad, really disappointing. I mean, last week there was a lot of hope and expectation. At least I thought that there was a chance. Maybe it was a small chance, but I thought there was a chance that we could see some of the overt monetary financing, what some people called helicopter money from the Bank of Japan, and finally begin to get rid of, to flush out this sclerotic mentality at the central banks and this kind of, view of monetary policy over everything, subverting fiscal policy. Even though Japan did not need financing per se from the Bank of Japan, and we've been all through this. First of all, the Bank of Japan cannot buy government securities from the government of Japan. It is illegal. Okay, they buy it from what's already been issued. However, this would have allowed a certain scheme whereby, they would buy, I think it was zero coupon perpetual bonds from the Bank of Japan. Anyway, the way it was kind of described was this would give the government of Japan financing to really significantly expand fiscal stimulus, and that would help us break out of this overriding oppressive dogma of monetary policy, which is just killing everything. It's totally deflationary. And what happened? Nothing. Bank of Japan announced some more asset purchases, and we saw the reaction in the markets was deflationary. Stocks sold off, commodities sold off, etc. And here we have today the Bank of England doing the exact same thing. They see some scary numbers post-Brexit, even though the Brexit downturn, remember, the greatest recession you're going to see in your lifetime. The worst recession you're going to see in your lifetime. The worst bear market you're going to see in your lifetime. Jim Rogers, right? So we run up to new highs. Nothing happened. But the Bank of England, again, with these deflationary measures. Rate cuts. What is a rate cut? You're removing income. You are cutting prices. Okay, that's deflationary. Lending to banks. I mean, why? What's with the lending to the banks? Does the Bank of England literally believe that it's in some world, some Jimmy Stewart world of It's a Wonderful Life, the Bailey Building and Loan? That if they lend to the banks, then the banks turn around and lend that money out? It's not the way it works. Loans create deposits. Loans create reserves, not the other way around. I mean, that's already been shown and debunked, and it's incredible. These guys are running central banks, and they don't understand banking. I met a guy from a local bank here in Long Island, New York, when I used to be on Fox. This guy was the CEO of a little local bank. He understood. He said, no, we don't lend out our reserves. But yet you got central bankers believing in this. So it's really incredible. So anyway, here's the thing, right? I mean, they are heaping so much deflation on the global economy. Bank of Japan, Bank of England, ECB, with the negative rates and the asset purchases. Even the Fed. I mean, the Fed is not as bad. They tried one time to raise the rate, but Janet Yellen, she's like shaking in her boots, afraid to do it again. We saw, those of you who have the MMT Trader, we saw in the GDP report, interest income was the only component of income that keeps going down. Okay? They can't figure it out. There's any legitimate science in the world would be laughed out of existence if its theories weren't at least shown to be somewhat plausible just by the empirical evidence. Only economics gets away with this. It's a travesty. It's a sham. Okay? Never called to explain why the theories don't result in some kind of proof empirically, or at least some indication that they're right. Nothing. So we had in 2009, all right, 4.6 trillion of government spending turned the economy around on a dime. We were in a depression. Ended up with a 4% growth rate that year. And this year, we're probably going to be very close to that 4.6 trillion, and we're just barely above 1% because all of these headwinds are coming from the central banks. So I don't know how much more it can take. I just don't know how much more it can take. It's a valiant performance, I have to say, by economies to remain positive, even slightly positive, in the face of all this. Be back later.